Hi everyone, welcome back to English for You. I'm Pat.
I'm Chickling.
So yesterday we talked about people who stay all night in Hong Kong fast food restaurants like McDonald's, 24-hour places, mostly because they don't have a lot of space at home. How important is space to you?
I think it's really important because I cared about my privacy. So if I have my own space, I can do a lot of things on my own. What do you think about space?
I need more space. The place I live now is too small for me and my wife and our baby. So when that baby starts moving, I'm going to need somewhere bigger.
Yeah.
So that's the main space thing I have at the moment.
And we're living in the capital, so it's kind of hard to find.
Yeah, it's not easy. We're looking. So do you share your space, your house or apartment with anyone?
No, because I talked about my privacy.
Yeah.
I live in an apartment building, so I have a little apartment. Not really big, but it's just okay for myself.
Okay, yeah. I don't like sharing. I haven't shared, apart from my wife, and that's a different thing. I haven't shared a room or an area with anyone for a long time now.
Oh, okay.
Since I was about 23, 24, I think I moved out. I lived with some friends, moved out and got my own place. And it was a great decision.
Yeah.
It was fun living with them, but my own space meant my own space. Very important. You can kind of keep it clean. It's your stuff. So, unfortunately, not everybody in Hong Kong has this kind of space.
Yeah.
We're going to look into that kind of thing in today's article. Let's read through.
Reading.
Squeezed out. Why so many Hong Kongers are sleeping in burger restaurants. Even for those who have homes, the need to sleep in public is still related to Hong Kong's housing problems. The city is tied with Paris and Singapore as the world's most expensive place to live. Many buildings there are holding 6 times the number of people they were built for. The cost of a 1-bedroom apartment far from downtown is equal to 44,000 NT dollars per month. Families who can't afford the rent will squeeze themselves into much smaller homes. They take turns using beds and share toilets with neighbors. Thus, a 24-hour restaurant offers some relief for people who don't have enough space. Some cheap apartments are provided by the government and are more affordable. However, most applicants must wait over 5 years for an opportunity to move into one. With 20% of Hong Kong's population living in poverty, many thousands of people are desperate for space. As long as Hong Kong's poor can't find decent housing, the problem of sleeping in fast food restaurants will only become worse.
Okay, so as we said yesterday, we talked about a man who stayed at McDonald's because his house was too small for him and his family. I feel your pain. Now, we carry this idea on here. The article part 2 begins, even for those who have homes, the need to sleep in public is still related to Hong Kong's housing problems. Now here we use the word related. If two things are related, they are connected in some way, and one thing affects another thing. Related can also mean you're in the same family, but here it's connected in a sort of cause and effect kind of way. A causes B to happen, something like that. We often use the preposition to connect these things. So A is related to B. For example, Ryan has no money, but lots of new video games. I think these two facts are related.
好，我们来看一下 related 这个字，它就是相关的意思，它是形容词哦。那刚刚老师都有讲到 be related to something， 我们就会这样子用。And relate is the verb， 我们把 d 拿掉就会变成动词。It means to find connections between two or more things, or when you can relate, you're able to understand a situation or someone's feelings because you've experienced something similar before. 那我们来看一下它的形容词跟名词都可以叫做是 relative. 那 a relative is a member of your family, and if something is relative to a particular thing, it's connected with it, or it changes according to the level of the other thing. 那就是有相关的啦，相对的意思。那我们再看两个例句哦。Her grandmother finds it hard to relate to the new fashions, like my ripped jeans. My grandmother never understands me. 那我们看第二个句子 All of his relatives came to the wedding. 所以即使对有房子的人来说，在公共场合睡觉这样的需求，还是跟香港的住屋问题有很大的关系哦。
Okay, let's get back to the article, and it says the city, meaning Hong Kong, is tied with Paris and Singapore as the world's most expensive place to live. Now, here we use this phrase, be tied with. If two things are tied, they have the same score or other ranking or rating as another thing. Think of a sports game. If both teams have the same amount of points or goals or runs, they are tied, okay? This sentence means, so Hong Kong is tied with, it means Hong Kong, Paris, and Singapore, they're all equal. They have the same score, and they're all the most expensive places to live.
所以这边 be tied with 就是有与什么什么并列的意思，它有联系打结的意思嘛，所以这边就可以联想在一起。所以呢，巴黎呀、像新加坡还有香港都被并列是世界上很昂贵的居住地哦。
And the article explains how this affects people. It says, many buildings there are holding 6 times the number of people they were built for.
好，那我们来看一下今天的文法哦。我们来讲一下倍数的用法，还有关系代名词当受词省略的用法。那我们看一下老师刚刚念的句子 ：Many buildings there are holding 6 times the number of people they were built for。所以这边的意思是指，所以许多建筑物的容纳人数是原来的6倍。那我们看一下倍数的用法。倍数的用法呢，我们就是先用一个主词嘛，然后动词，再加上要多出多少倍数，后面再加上单位，这样子继续写下去。我们等下看几个例句会更清楚。那这种句型呢，它意思就是什么的几倍。用法如下面哦，我们来看一下。我们可以说，如果是一半的话，就是 half the amount of something。2倍呢 twice the number of something。那3倍呢 3 times the size of something。所以那个单位会跟着变，看你在讲什么单位 ，it depends on what you're talking about。那我们看一下许多倍就可以说 many times the price of， 就是多出许多倍的价钱哦。那我们来看一下在另外一个更完整的句子。My sister's room is half the size of my room， 代表我姐姐的房间是我的一半。那以此类推哦，如果是我的2倍，就是 twice the size of my room。3倍 3 times the size of my room， 4 times the size of my room， 继续这样子下去。那另外一个句子 ，Private school fees are many times the amount of public school fees。所以私立学校的学费是公立学校的许多倍。那我们再看另外一点哦。关系代名词当受词的省略，我们来看一下这个例句。What is the funniest YouTube video which you have ever watched？ 这个 which 其实大部分我们不喜欢讲啊，我们直接连过去就好了，变成说你看过最好笑的 YouTube 影片是什么？那第二个 ，Do you know the strange man whom little Jessie got some candy from？ 这边的 whom 也是可以省略的，我们大致上讲话都会省略掉。那意思就是说，你认识那个陌生人吗？小杰西从他那边拿了一些苹果。那么，如果关系子句中的动词片语啊，包含了介系词，这个介系词可以移到关系代名词前面。不过这个时候呢，关系代名词就不可以省略咯。
Okay, so that's one building problem. There's just more people living inside them than there should be. And here's another example of a Hong Kong housing problem. The article says the cost of a one-bedroom apartment far from downtown is equal to 44,000 NT dollars per month.
Too much money.
Yeah, and that's for one not even near the center.
And with that much money, we can actually rent a really, really nice apartment here in Taiwan.
Exactly.
Even in Taipei, you can do that.
Yeah. For 44,000 a month, I'd expect to get something pretty good. So, what does this mean to the people who live there? These facts and figures tell us something, but how does it affect people? We see that families who can't afford the rent will squeeze themselves into much smaller homes. So squeeze, this verb means to manage to get into a small or narrow space, like the kind of last empty space in an elevator.
Yeah.
You often have to use force to get in or try and make yourself smaller to fit. For example, somehow the 6 friends squeezed into one car.
所以 squeeze 不觉得听起来像挤压吗？挤压的感觉。It's a verb here. Besides meaning to press something firmly, it also means to force somebody or something into a small space. 就像或者是 or a short period of time， 就是把时间挤在，用来形容时间也是可以的哦。譬如说呢 ，She keeps asking me if I could squeeze a dinner date into my day off. 那再看几个句子哦。We can squeeze in 8 people at the table. 或者是呢 he can't squeeze into that suit from last year.
Yeah, put on weight.
所以比较没有办法负担这些房租的家庭，就必须挤在很小的房子里。
So how do these people squeeze into the buildings? The article says they take turns using beds and share toilets with neighbors. So if you take turns, then one person goes, then the next one, and then the next one, and so on. Everyone goes one at a time. It's like a game. So it's like, okay, you get the bed from now until 5, then you swap and sleep on the floor and your sister gets it, or we have 1 hour, 2 hours each and then change. Oh, terrible way to live.
Yeah. 所以我们看一下这一个片语 take turns doing something 是轮流做事情的意思。所以在这些小小的空间里，他们要轮流使用床铺。好，那我们来看一下，你可以说 they took turns looking after the baby.
So they have to take turns using beds and share toilets with the neighbors. A toilet is the thing you use when you need to pee or poop. There are many different kinds, like a urinal or urinal, U-R-I-N-A-L. Okay, that's the toilet that men can pee in when they stand up. There's also a squat, S-Q-U-A-T, squat toilet, which is kind of like a hole in the floor. Now, fancy Japanese toilets have hot seats and special water sprays. Here's an example sentence with toilet. There is a long line for the ladies' toilets here, so I'll try somewhere else.
所以 toilet 就是马桶的意思。那我们冲马桶呢？怎么说呢？就是说 to flush the toilet。那么英式用法呢？我们说要去洗手间，会说 go to the toilet， 或者是 loo， 这是 informal 的用法。那如果在美式用法呢，我们就会说 bathroom 或者是 restroom。那男厕就是 men's room 或 ladies room。不过在英国的话，the UK 大家会说 like to the ladies' toilets.
Yeah, or we just the loo or the lav.
Yeah.
L-A-V, lav is one we use.
But in America, we tend to say bathroom or
Restroom,
ladies' room.
yeah.
好，那么看几个例句哦。That toilet brush belongs in the bathroom, not in the kitchen. Or, where is the ladies' room?
Okay, so this whole idea of people squeezing in, we now connect this idea back to the fast food places in day 1. The article says, thus, a 24-hour restaurant offers some relief for people who don't have enough space. Now, relief, it's a noun, and it's the feeling that you can relax or feel better after some stress or pressure is released. Like, your exams are done. Oh, what a relief. Now, these people can relax in the big space in Burger King after they've been living in a tiny area at home. They go, oh, finally, there's a big table here. I'm not sharing this space. That's a great relief. Here's another example. It was a relief when it finally stopped raining and we could go outside in the sun.
所以 relief 就是轻松感、如释重负的意思哦。It's a noun, and the verb form is relieve. 那我们就可以说放松的叹气啊 ，a sigh of relief 对，好，那我们来看一下例句哦。He breathed a sigh of relief when he finished his exams. 那如果用动词 relieve， 就它也是说让我们可以解放啊、放松的意思。譬如说 Erica was given morphine to relieve the pain.
That's better.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's the problem. Just too many people, not enough space. But is Hong Kong doing anything about this problem? Well, the article says some cheap apartments are provided by the government and are more affordable. Okay, so the Hong Kong government is acting, it's doing something. But what do we mean by government? Well, it's the organisation of people chosen by the citizens of a country to make laws and just generally run that country. You vote for people, those people go and they all meet together, and the place where they meet or the action of meeting, the people, all of that is the government, okay? For example, we could say there is an election this year, so there might be a new government next year.
所以 government 就是政府的意思哦，是名词。那形容词政府的就可以说 governmental， 直接在后面加一个 al 就好咯。那我们看一下例句 ：The government has set up a committee to look into the problem。或者是第二个句子 ：Installing safety glass on a bus was a governmental decision。And let's also look at the word affordable. It's an adjective. So when something is affordable, it is not really expensive or it is able to be bought. For example, they sell nice clothes at affordable prices. So this one is an adjective, but the verb form is afford. 就是买得起啊，负担得起。譬如说 she can't afford another trip abroad this year. 所以有一些比较便宜的公寓在香港这边都是由政府提供，他们比较可以被负担得起。
Yeah, it's like, okay, if you need this house, if your family doesn't make a lot of money, you can move into these cheaper government houses. So they're making the cheap houses, but that doesn't solve the problem, as the article says. However, most applicants must wait over 5 years for an opportunity to move into one. So an applicant is a person that formally requests something like a job or to study at university or a college or to, in this case, have a cheaper house. It's related to the verb apply, A-P-P-L-Y. If you apply for something and say, I would like this thing, here's the form, here's my information. If you do that, you are an applicant.
好，在这边指的就是申请政府住宅的人哦。
So a lot of people want to apply, they want to be applicants for this cheap housing, but sometimes they have to wait 5 years for the opportunity to actually get it. An opportunity is the chance to do, be, or have something. We can also use it to mean a situation that you can use to make something good happen. Oh, I have a good opportunity to leave work early today, or a good opportunity to get something or go somewhere I've always wanted to go. Here's another one. Chris had the opportunity to study abroad, so he took it and went to Canada.
所以 opportunity 就是机会的意思，那么抓住机会就可以说 to seize an opportunity， 那么错失呢 to miss an opportunity。好，那我们来看一下例句哦。Don't hesitate to seize the opportunity to propose to her. Or he quit the job because there was a lack of opportunity for promotion. 就是没有升迁的机会，但要住这些政府提供的房子是要申请，而且大多数要等5年以上哎 ，That's a long time.
Yeah, and how big is this problem? The article says with 20% of Hong Kong's population living in poverty, many thousands of people are desperate for space.
And when you're desperate, that means you're needing something very much or you're wanting something very much. 就是有非常需要的意思。譬如说你现在真的太累了，你就可以说 I'm desperate for some coffee， 就代表你很想要喝咖啡。那由于香港有20%的人口都住在贫困，所以成千上万的人都非常需要空间。
Yeah, it's a really difficult situation. I've been to Hong Kong a few times and I've had friends who live there and they often say, oh, my place is so small, or you can never find or you can never afford a good place to live. You can see people living in really tiny little apartments in pictures or in movies or in other things like news articles about Hong Kong. Now, the end of the article, we've reached that. It says, as long as Hong Kong's poor can't find decent housing, the problem of sleeping in fast food restaurants will only become worse. Now, we use this phrase, as long as, to kind of mean provided that, and it's used to say that while this situation continues, nothing will change. No matter how long the situation goes on for, as long as it still is there, nothing will change.
就是只要的意思。 那我们可以说 As long as you need me, I will stay， 代表不管怎么样我都会，只要你需要我，我都会留下来。那么 decent 这一个字代表一件事情很好。good 或很适当的 satisfactory 蛮好的，也 nice 就是一件事情蛮好的，很完整，适当的。那我们来看一下例句。Jacob couldn't find a decent job in Boston, so he moved to Chicago.
Yeah, he could find a job, but not a decent, good job that paid okay. He moved somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's the end of the article. Doesn't really give a solution to the problem, but we may talk about that in today's For You Chat question.
For You Chat.
So our For You Chat question for today is, what can governments do to help people who live in poverty without enough housing?
It's not easy because it's difficult to kind of give to somebody without taking from somebody else. Finland, I think, is the country who tried paying people a basic wage even if they don't have jobs. So the government actually paid them a certain amount of money no matter what they were doing. That might help those people to find housing. Otherwise, maybe governments can sort of help out and make sure house prices don't get it too high. But they don't own the houses necessarily, so there's only so much they can do. Basically, they just have to make the country's economy good enough so that people can live kind of well enough.
Yeah.
That's really as much as they can do. It's just a difficult situation.
Yeah.
Population problems and overall things like that affect kind of every level of society. And there's no one solution that will also solve some of the other related problems. So just kind of do your best by the people, I guess. Don't give all the money to the rich. Try and share it out a little bit more. Okay, well, that's all we have time for today. Thanks for watching. For English For You, I am Pat.
I'm Chickling.
We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Squeezed out. Why so many Hong Kongers are sleeping in burger restaurants. Even for those who have homes, the need to sleep in public is still related to Hong Kong's housing problems. The city is tied with Paris and Singapore as the world's most expensive place to live. Many buildings there are holding 6 times the number of people they were built for. The cost of a 1-bedroom apartment far from downtown is equal to 44,000 NT dollars per month. Families who can't afford the rent will squeeze themselves into much smaller homes. They take turns using beds and share toilets with neighbors. Thus, a 24-hour restaurant offers some relief for people who don't have enough space. Some cheap apartments are provided by the government and are more affordable. However, most applicants must wait over 5 years for an opportunity to move into one. With 20% of Hong Kong's population living in poverty, many thousands of people are desperate for space. As long as Hong Kong's poor can't find decent housing, the problem of sleeping in fast food restaurants will only become worse.
Vocabulary Review.
Related. Teresa's headaches are sometimes related to a change in the weather. Squeeze. The mouse squeezed itself through the tiny hole in the wall and disappeared. Toilet. Leslie doesn't mind using the toilets in the MRT stations because they are always clean. Relief. Daniel finds relief in taking a hot bath after a long day of hard work. Government. The country elected a new president and a whole new government in hopes of making big changes. Opportunity. Ari swims daily and hopes for the opportunity to compete in the Olympic Games one day.
字汇小补帖
Affordable. Applicant. Desperate. Decent.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net